Your coffee could be the best natural supplement for men over 50. Let's be honest, if your mornings aren't what they used to be, you've probably noticed. And I'm not just talking about feeling more tired or needing an extra cup of coffee. I'm talking about that energy, that vitality that once seemed to come naturally, and that, over the years, becomes harder to regain. But here's the interesting part. The solution isn't necessarily a pill or an expensive supplement. It could be something as everyday as your morning coffee. Today I want to explain how that same drink that wakes you up can become a real support for your circulation, your energy, and your hormonal health. All backed by science, not fads. First, there's a problem we all ignore. Many men over 50 come to my office, and their reason for consultation is the same. They say, I feel fine, but I don't have the same strength anymore, not at the gym or in other areas. And although we tend to associate this with normal aging, what's actually happening is a series of small physiological changes. From the age of 45 or 50, the male body begins to experience a progressive reduction in testosterone production. In addition, blood vessels lose flexibility, insulin sensitivity decreases, and overall circulation becomes less efficient. And what do most men do? Drink more coffee, trying to compensate for that fatigue. However, caffeine alone, while an effective stimulant, doesn't correct the underlying biological mechanisms. In his book, From the Molecule to Molecules, researcher Oliver Kaiser, 2024, explains that caffeine acts primarily on the central nervous system, increasing alertness and reducing the perception of fatigue, but without directly intervening in the nitric oxide pathway, which is what actually allows for sustained vasodilation and healthy blood flow. In simple terms, caffeine starts the engine, but it doesn't fix the pipes. This is where a molecule with a fundamental role in our cardiovascular health and circulation comes in. This molecule, which defines male vascular health, is nitric oxide. This microscopic gas is responsible for telling the arteries, relax, open up. Without it, the vessels become rigid, blood pressure rises, and tissue oxygenation decreases. Nitric oxide is also directly linked to male sexual function. It's the same molecule that activates the Viagra mechanism, but your body produces it naturally when it's well-nourished, oxygenated, and stimulated. What we discovered is that some natural compounds, which you can add to your coffee, help the body generate more nitric oxide, improve metabolic sensitivity, and naturally balance hormones. In other words, it's not about drinking more coffee, but about drinking it better. Scientific evidence and my years as a clinician have allowed me to confirm how small dietary adjustments can achieve remarkable results. That's why today I'm going to talk about 5 ingredients that are supported by scientific literature and that, combined with coffee, can transform your morning into a true health tool. Let's start with something as common as cinnamon, a forgotten metabolic regulator. Beyond its aroma, Ceylon cinnamon has compounds called polyphenols that improve insulin sensitivity and help maintain stable glucose levels. Why is that important? Because excess circulating glucose damages the body's smallest blood vessels, including those in the heart, brain, and genital area. In fact, these microscopic capillaries are often the first to deteriorate in men with insulin resistance or prediabetes. Cinnamon helps prevent this process. Clinical studies have shown 20 to 30% reductions in fasting blood sugar levels with moderate daily consumption. In addition, it has a mild vasodilatory effect thanks to a compound called cinnamaldehyde, which promotes nitric oxide production. Simply put, it stabilizes your metabolism and improves your circulation without medication. In your coffee, just 1/4 teaspoon is enough. You don't need more. If possible, choose Ceylon cinnamon, not the cassia variety, as the latter contains higher levels of coumarin, a compound that can be harmful to the liver in high doses. The next ingredient is pure cacao, an ally for the heart and mood. I'm not talking about commercial chocolate full of sugar, but dark, unsweetened cacao, the kind that's almost black. This food contains flavonoids like epicatechin and catechin, which act directly on the endothelium, the inner lining of the blood vessels, by activating the enzyme ENOS, responsible for producing nitric oxide. In other words, cacao and caffeine can work together. Caffeine stimulates alertness and heart rate, while the flavonoids in cacao allow that flow to be distributed more efficiently without the typical high and crash. In his work, Kaiser mentions that caffeine, when combined with natural antioxidants, enhances the bioavailability of nitric oxide. So this mixture has a solid biochemical basis. Furthermore, cacao stimulates neurotransmitters such as anandamide and phenylethylamine, associated with feelings of well-being and motivation. That's why those who consume it regularly not only report better circulation, but also greater mental clarity and an improved mood. A teaspoon of pure cacao in your daily coffee is enough. And if the flavor is too strong for you, you can use a touch of stevia or monk fruit, which do not affect blood sugar. Third, maca, a root native to the Peruvian Andes, has been used for centuries as an energy and sexual tonic, promoting hormonal balance and vitality. But unlike stimulants or drugs, its effect is gradual and regulating. What maca does is act on the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, helping the body regain its own hormonal balance. It's what we call an adaptogen in biology, a substance that doesn't force a response, but rather allows the body to better adapt to stress. Maca contains essential amino acids, minerals such as zinc and magnesium, and unique compounds called macamides and machenes, which are related to the regulation of sexual desire and physical energy. Controlled studies have shown improvements in libido and overall well-being after 8 to 12 weeks of regular consumption, especially in middle-aged men. In my experience, patients who incorporate it often describe it as cleaner energy without the typical caffeine jitters. The ideal dose: 1 teaspoon daily. You can start with yellow maca, which has the mildest flavor. If you're looking for more energy or prostate support, you can later try black or red maca. Another ingredient is coconut oil. And here we enter a topic that has been misunderstood for decades: fats. Many men have spent half their lives avoiding fats, thinking they were harmful, unaware that sex hormones, including testosterone, are made from cholesterol, which is the fuel for hormone production. If you deprive your body of good fats, you deprive it of the raw materials to produce its own hormones. Coconut oil is a rich source of medium-chain triglycerides, a type of fat that is metabolized very quickly and efficiently. Unlike other fats, medium-chain triglycerides don't need to go through a complex digestive process. They are transformed into almost immediate energy in the liver. Furthermore, there is evidence that medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, can promote natural testosterone production. An observational study showed increases of up to 20% in serum testosterone levels in men who replaced processed fats with MCTs for several weeks. In practice, adding half a teaspoon of coconut oil to your coffee helps maintain more stable energy without the typical mid-morning slump. If you blend it well, with a whisk or blender, you'll get a creamy texture similar to a latte, but without sugar or lactose. It's important to start slowly, half a teaspoon to begin with, and gradually increase to avoid digestive discomfort. Finally, ginger, which improves blood circulation and also has testicular protective properties by reducing reactive oxygen species, ROS. It's an ingredient as simple as it is powerful. This rhizome contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols, which have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and vasodilatory properties. But what's most interesting is its effect on hormonal function. Clinical studies have shown that daily ginger consumption can increase testosterone levels by up to 17%, in addition to improving sperm motility and reducing oxidative damage in the testicles. This is all because ginger protects Leydig cells, those responsible for producing testosterone, from oxidative stress and improves local blood flow. In your coffee, simply add a small fresh slice or a quarter teaspoon of powdered ginger. It provides a warm and slightly spicy flavor, ideal for mornings. If you have digestive problems or are taking anticoagulants, start with a very small dose. And always remember to consult your family doctor about any significant changes in drug or nutritional therapies. Now, something very important is how to incorporate all this knowledge without complicating things. Here, I'll share my experience. Many patients ask me in consultations, do I have to use all 5 ingredients every day? The answer is no. The key is progression and consistency, not exaggeration. You can follow this simple 4-week plan. Week 1, add cinnamon to your coffee. Week 2, add cacao. Week 3, incorporate maca 3 times a week. Week 4, try coconut oil or ginger, whichever you prefer. Evaluate how you feel, your energy, your concentration, your mood, even your sleep. If you do this consistently, you'll see real improvements, not instant, but sustainable. Remember that the body needs time to adapt to new stimuli. Don't expect a miracle in 2 days, but do expect a gradual transformation. At this point, we cannot forget the scientific evidence behind our topic, the habit of drinking coffee, and we must return for a moment to the central point, the synergy between caffeine and nitric oxide. According to Cacao, 2024, caffeine stimulates the release of catecholamines, adrenaline and noradrenaline, which increases heart rate and alertness. However, it can also cause mild vasoconstriction. By combining caffeine with substances that promote nitric oxide, such as the flavonoids in cocoa or the cinnamaldehyde in cinnamon, we counteract this effect, achieving balanced vasodilation. This improves muscle, brain, and genital perfusion without the cardiovascular stress caused by pure stimulants. In clinical terms, we could say that this mixture trains the vascular system to respond better to exertion and rest. It is a silent, daily, and completely natural metabolic workout. In addition, these ingredients provide antioxidants and essential minerals like magnesium, which is a cofactor in more than 300 enzymatic reactions, including testosterone synthesis and energy metabolism. If you apply this approach, the first thing you'll notice won't be spectacular, but subtle. You'll feel more stable in the morning, with less need for a second cup of coffee. After 2 or 3 weeks, you'll probably notice better sleep quality and greater mental clarity. After a month, many men report something they describe as, "I feel more like myself again." And that, from a clinical perspective, makes sense. By improving circulation, stabilizing glucose, and supporting hormonal function, we're literally helping the body function at its optimal pace. It's not about reversing aging, but about allowing your physiology to work for you, not against you. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. You don't need extreme solutions to regain your vitality. You need consistency, information, and smart choices. Your coffee, that daily ritual you do without thinking, can become a powerful tool for maintaining your vascular and hormonal health after 50. There's nothing mystical about it. It's biochemistry, physiology, and years of accumulated evidence. As a doctor, I've seen how small, sustained changes achieve results that no medication can without commitment. So tomorrow, when you make your coffee, remember that you can do it in 2 ways, as just another habit or as an investment in your health. I encourage you to choose the second. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment telling me which ingredients you'd like to try or if you already use any. And if you want to learn more about how to maintain your performance, energy, and cardiovascular health long-term, subscribe to the Adult Health Institute. In upcoming episodes, we'll discuss sleep, exercise, and smart eating for men over 50. I'm Manuel Granada, an adult care specialist with a master's degree in basic biomedical sciences, and my mission is to help you understand that the body, even with age, is still capable of extraordinary things. It just needs the right fuel.